Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're all having a great and wonderful day. Well, what we have here is the sadness that is Karen Bass, because apparently she has no ability to lead, no ability to, be part of it, to actually help her people of LA. So we have an actual phone call here, probably from a person that is in the government, I don't know, but a resident or somebody of the sort. And she was caught actually giving information and reporting to James O'Keefe about what is going on, and she'd be missing 2 work days and all that great stuff. And it's not good for her at all because it's just showing her kind of like what on type of woman that this person is managing the LA. And it doesn't seem like she really cares. She's only doing it for political points or not to actually help the people. We're also going to be going over a few things as well on how Karen Bass is just like, she says things, but they're not actually working. Like she doesn't actually do them. She just does it to stay within political power. So without further ado, my friends, this is the audio call from James O'Keefe about this.
Situation is very dangerous, and I would never do. I will take the criticism before I do a publicity stunt. And frankly, a press conference at this point in time would just be publicity.
I think
the
neighbors, the property owners,
yeah,
and the residents. I mean, 41,000 people live within a square mile here.
Yeah.
Two families share a one-bedroom apartment.
But they want to hear that something is going to be done.
They want to know it's recognized. But they want to know it's recognized.
Exactly. But if I have a choice between that and compromising something, I just have to go along with it. It's not my area of expertise. I want to make sure that you are safe. And hopefully you can read in between the lines. But I would just appreciate and it's hard for me to tell you this, but hold tight. You will understand soon.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
And when I am able to talk, I will be happy to go into great detail.
Okay. And you've got me on the street, and you're welcome to call me at any time. I'll call you right back.
No problem. And just in terms of my trip, just so you know, I'm missing 2 work days.
Okay.
That's it. And if President Biden extends me an invitation, I took it.
So what we have here is just a lady that seems to be full of incompetence and not exactly good at her job. I mean, she says, this is not my area of expertise. Well, you're the bloody mayor of the city. Your whole job is to govern and to look after the people of the city and to get things done. But from what it looks like, that's not what you're doing here. And we have a bit more on Mayor Karen Bass, right? Because we'll be going over here. But for right now, what we have here is, this is from James O'Keefe, kind of like, he pretty much just covers a bit more in depth on what goes on. So he says here, just 3 days before fires erupted in the Los Angeles area, Bass issued a cryptic message to our source, advising them to read in between the lines and hold tight, you'll understand soon, suggesting she was aware of significant developments that would soon impact the city. Which, if that is the true case, that she seems to be, that's what he's saying, like suggesting that she knew of all these things that were happening. That goes on to say, Bats also acknowledged the growing dangers surrounding MacArthur Park. The situation is very dangerous, he said, citing security concerns. She remained adamant in her refusal to hold a press conference, stating, I will take the criticism before I do a publicity stunt. And frankly, a press conference at this point in time, which would just be a publicity. Bats further explained her position, stating, if I have a choice between that and compromising something, that I just have to go along with it. It's not my area of expertise, emphasizing her lack of qualifications to make informed decisions regarding the area. Goes on to say, when the source emphasized the safety concerns of residents and property owners in MacArthur Park, noting that 41,000 people live within a square mile here, Bass maintained her stance, stating, but they want to hear that something is going to be done, making clear that no action is currently being taken to address security risks. So Yeah, what's happening here is that Karen Bass, the mayor of LA, that happened to just know all these fires, including probably know the water or the reservoir that's supposed to hold all that water there. She was aware of this, but she didn't take any action. And now we have other issues as well that's being related to this situation here, right? So you know about that park that we're talking about. This is the park currently, or at least before the fires that were happened, this is what the park looks like now. And she was saying that she was going to handle it.
All smoking it, doing their whole little jibby. Oh, bro's knocked out. Dang, he's on a tough one.
Yeah, so that's the state of the park. And by the way, this is not just a one-time thing. She has gone out and said that she has promised to address the city's homelessness crisis by getting people off the streets and to housing. And she has declared a state of emergency on homelessness, created programs to help people find housing, and met with federal officials to seek help. But of course, she's not actually doing that, right? Because she just said she doesn't want to make it a publicity stunt. She knew that things were going on, but she's not doing anything. So what is Karen Bass actually doing here? And then let's just add insult to injury. She said there's a restaurant that was closing, and this is what we have here. It says Langer's closing. Mayor Bass comes from lunch and vows to respond urgently to neighborhood problems. So again, this woman here is seeming to be completely incompetent, doesn't know her job, doesn't have any merit or whatsoever, and then she's just running LA into the ground. Los Angeles people, this is your mayor in chief that is just running your complete area, your whole entire area into the ground. This is how Democrats operate, right? Democrats are operating on the fact of the feel good message, and their incompetence is really showing. Because, again, we can't just talk about Mayor Bass being completely incompetent either. We have to talk about how Gavin Newsom also was incompetent and did a lot of these policies hurting California in the process as well. And then let's go to Kathy Hochul and then Brandon Johnson to where how they're running these cities and these areas like Chicago and New York, and how much of those cities and those places are completely collapsing under Democratic leadership. And we're going to say that Democrats know how to lead. This is a common theme that I'm seeing here with these Democrats, is that they do not know how to lead. Now, can we go and criticize Republicans and how they're failing and doing some of the things bad and whatever in those states? Yes, we can, as we should. But what we're seeing here is that the Democrats are failing at an astronomical worse level than the Republicans are. That's the problem here. So, we can say, oh, well, the Republicans are doing bad. Well, yeah, they're doing bad, and we need to hold them accountable. But let's also hold the Democrats being accountable for how bad they're doing to their cities, right? Texas seems like it's doing a pretty decent job despite some of the other issues. Now, West Virginia, apparently from Tim Pool, has some other issues as well that needs to be rectified. But what we have right now is that these Democratic leaders are failing at everywhere possible, and Karen Bass here, or Mayor Karen Bass is just failing at every bloody turn. Because obviously, if she was not failing at every bloody turn, LA probably wouldn't have these fires as nearly as bad. Although there's not much she can do if the governor is removing $100 million from their funding. But needless to say that she's not doing a good job. She's having restaurants closed. She's not dealing with the homeless problem, even though she promised that she was going to go do that. And then when the fires broke out, she remained silent, mute, and she's still not doing it and still not helping the people that residents that need help. So again, this is just insanity here. I don't know what else to tell people. Maybe things will look better for LA, but it doesn't look like it. It doesn't look like people are going to get their homes within the next 2 years, as I predicted. So we'll see on what happens. All right, guys, that's it for the video. Like, guys, share. As always, take care, my friends.
Burn down the city, scream at the top of your lungs till you're dizzy. You can cancel everything and everybody in it, but it's not your